All right, today we're going to learn a new language. And no, I'm not talking about Spanish or French. I'm talking about Python, the language of computers. And we're going to start right at the very beginning by tackling that one single crucial step every programmer takes, writing their very first line of code.
So, have you ever just wished you could tell a computer exactly what to do and have it actually listen? I mean, that's the real magic of coding, right? It's all about giving these super clear, precise instructions to a machine that just does it. No questions asked, perfectly and instantly.
So for this explainer, our mission is super simple. We're going to write one thing, and one thing only, a single, perfect line of Python code. And by the time we're done, you'll understand every single piece of it. Sound good? Let's do this. All right, first things first. How do we get the computer to actually talk back to us, to say something? How do we make it speak? Well, in Python, the magic word to make something appear on screen is the print function. Seriously, think of print as a verb. And those little parentheses right after it, that's where you put whatever you want it to say. It's our direct hotline to the screen, turning our code into something we can actually see. And what's the very first thing programmers always make a computer say? It's this exact phrase, hello world. It's a total classic for a reason. It's like a simple, universal greeting from our brand new program to, well, the entire world. So let's make it happen. And there it is. That's the code that makes it happen. We use our print function, and right inside those parentheses, we put hello world. Now, you see those quotation marks? They are absolutely crucial. They tell Python, hey, this isn't a command, it's just some text. In the programming world, we call a piece of text like this a string. So all we're really doing is telling Python to print this specific string. Pretty simple, huh? But just like any language, Python has rules. You can't just toss words around and hope for the best. You've got to follow the grammar, or as programmers call it, the syntax. So syntax is basically the grammar book for a programming language. It's the super strict set of rules about where you put your parentheses, your quotes, all that stuff. And here's the thing. It has to be strict. Why? Because a computer only gets on or off, yes or no. There's no kinda or maybe. If you mess up your grammar in English, someone can probably figure out what you meant. But if your syntax is often in Python, even by a single character, the computer just gives up. The program just won't run. Period. Take a look at this. It's kind of fascinating how a tiny, tiny mistake can break everything. On the left, we've got perfect syntax. On the right, we're just missing that last parentheses. To our eyes, it looks almost the same, right? But to the computer, it's total gibberish. It has no idea where the command is supposed to end. So the big takeaway here is every single symbol matters. Okay, so syntax handles the rules for one line of code. But what happens when you start writing programs with lots of lines? This is where Python has a really unique rule about structure that we need to talk about. And that brings us to this idea called indentation. All indentation is, really, is the empty space at the start of a line. Now, in a lot of other programming languages, it's just there to make the code look pretty. But in Python, oh no, it is not optional. It is a critical part of the grammar itself. Here's a good way to think about it. Indentation is how you make paragraphs in Python. It's how you group lines of code together, telling the computer, hey, all these instructions, they belong together as one block. It's honestly one of the things that makes Python so distinct, and a lot of people would say easy to read. So, we figured out how to tell the computer what to do. But what about leaving notes for ourselves? Or for other people who might read our code later? This leads to a really interesting question, doesn't it? We have spent all this time learning how to write instructions that the computer has to obey. But what if we want to write something that it specifically ignores? The answer is something called a code comment. A comment is basically a note from a programmer to a programmer. It's your way of explaining what a piece of code is supposed to do, or why you wrote it a certain way, or just leaving a reminder for your future self. When Python runs your program, it sees these comments and just skips right over them. They're invisible to the machine. And Python gives us a couple of ways to do this. For a quick, short note on a single line, you just start it with a hash symbol. That's the number sign. But if you need to write a longer explanation, something that takes up a few lines, you can wrap your text in triple quotation marks. Either way, the computer pays them no attention at all. All right, we've got all the pieces of the puzzle. We have the command, we understand the grammar, and we know how to leave notes for ourselves. It's time to put it all together and build our perfect program. And there you have it, mission complete. This one line has it all. The print hello world part, that's the instruction for the computer, and the hashtag my first program part, that's our comment, a little note for us humans to celebrate what we just did. So let's just do a quick recap. It really all comes down to 4 simple steps. Number 1, the command. You start with print parentheses. Number 2, the message. You put your text inside the parentheses and the quotation marks. Number 3, the grammar. You double-check that every opening parentheses and quote has a closing partner. And finally, number 4, the note. You can add a helpful comment for yourself using that hash symbol. That's the whole recipe. 1. Just 1. That's all it was. 1 line of code. But think about what's packed inside that single line. You've just learned about functions, strings, syntax, and comments. You've literally learned the fundamental building blocks for speaking Python. So there it is. You've officially written your first program. You have made a computer speak your words. The only question left is, what are you going to tell it to do next? What will you build?